10:37 and 13 degrees right now in downtown Montreal. Good morning. It's Kelly Alexander sitting in for Elias Makos, but don't you worry, he will be back in the big chair tomorrow. So guess what? Quebec's long-term sustainable mobility plan is now in limbo due to tight budget constraints and work on the next phase of the province's transportation strategy, which is meant to guide investments in public transit, road networks, and other transport sectors. Is it's still at a standstill, and with key committee meetings canceled and no clear government direction, civil society groups are warning that without a renewed plan, Quebec risks more congestion, rising household transport costs, and falling short on key environmental and mobility goals. Joining us to talk about all this is Sandrine Cabana-Degani, Executive Director of Piétons Québec. Sandrine, welcome to CJAD 800.
Thank you for having me.
So can we talk a little bit about, why has work on this new mobility plan actually come to a halt?
Yeah, well, it's a really good question. We don't really know the answer of that question. That's why we join with other groups, organizations from various sectors, including the economic and merchandise sector, to inform the public about what's happening, and because we're really concerned about the fact that the meetings have been stopped. And then we learned yesterday that the government is, because of the, like you said, of the economic happening around these days, he will not be adopting a new action plan for this policy. But for us, the economic context needs for a new plan for sustainable mobility. So we're really feeling that this delay is jeopardizing years of collective efforts to provide Quebec with an efficient, accessible, and safe transportation system that will serve all Quebecers. So we're really concerned about this, but we don't really know in depth why it's happening.
Can you explain, for those who don't know, what were these, specific mobility plans for exactly?
Yeah, so the plan is really there to have a clear vision of where we want to go in mobility. The plan is what we need to understand is that plan is a really consensual. It was built with a lot of partners from the various mobility sectors, so the merchandise sector, the economic sector, and the different transportation mode sector, like us, Piétons Québec, but also public transport sector, road sector, even merchandise traveling by boat. So all the sectors are represented around the table, and we all agreed to the goals that we wanted to achieve. And goals in that plan are about giving choices to the population and to the business sector to have different mobility choices, to be efficient in their traveling, and also to be more sustainable, to cost less. And there's also economic and safety goals, so to reduce crashes on the road and also improve the sectors that the economic sectors that we have that are linked to mobility, because we know in Quebec we don't build cars, but we build buses, electric buses. So there's even goals in the policy about economic. So it's really various, but it gives a vision, and it also sets the funding to achieve this vision. So there's various programs that comes after this plan to make sure that we achieve those goals. And so that's why it's really concerning to see that the policy is still there, and the government, we learned yesterday, wants still to achieve those goals, but he doesn't have an action plan that will make sure that he's achieving this goal. And there's no vision and like a clear plan and program that can sustain achieving this vision.
Joining us on the Elias Makos show is Sandrine Cabana-Degani, Executive Director of Piétons Québec. So can you talk a little bit about, how concerned should we as Quebecers be about rising congestion and transport costs?
Yeah, I know action plans are not really sexy, but it really has a clear impact on Quebecers. And as you say, we have data that says that the congestion cost will only rise if we keep going this way because there's more and more cars on the road, and if we don't give choices to the population so they can take other modes of transportation that are more efficient to make people go from point A to B in dense area, we're only going to have more and more traffic. The CMM for Greater Montreal stated that the congestion costs for only Greater Montreal in 2023 were about $6 billion and will rise at $10 billion in 2030 if we do nothing to improve public transit and active transportation, for example. So it's really concerning to see that we know that we're going towards this, but we don't make sure by some new project in public transit, by investment in active transportation, for example, to shift the direction and give option to people that so they can have a more efficient transportation system.
Sandrine, thank you so much for your time. We very much appreciate it.
Thank you. Have a good day.
That is Sandrine Cabana-Degani, again, Executive Director of Piétons Québec.